Hey guys, so it's late, I'm tired, and I'm actually in my pajamas, but I wanted to film this video because I wanted to have it out there before it gets too late into July, because this video is going to be a part 2 to my June book hauls. I actually got some books on vacation that I wasn't planning to get, and I also had a book arrive that I had ordered before I went on vacation. So yes, this will be part 2, a little bit of unexpected books. The places that I got the books this month, well, one is from Amazon that I ordered, and the second place is actually a place called Green Valley Book Fair. It's sort of a warehouse wholesale type of deal. In Virginia, they are only open at certain times, and I was lucky enough that I arrived for vacation 2 days after they had opened for the period of time that they're going to be open until July 16th, I think. So I was able to go in there and get some books for really great prices, and I'd recommend, if they're open and you're near the Harrisonburg area of Virginia and you like cheap books, that I recommend you check it out. Okay, so first, I'll start off with the book that I ordered from Amazon, and that book is Fever by Lauren DeStefano. And this book is the second book in the Chemical Garden trilogy. And if you're unfamiliar with the trilogy, it is set in a future where men die at the age of either 25 or 20, and women die either 25 or 20. I can't remember which is which, but it's, young. So it kind of creates this society where women are kidnapped and men take multiple wives in order to produce that next generation. It's a pretty interesting concept, and I like the first book, so I'm excited to see how the story continues in this book. Okay, now I'll start to get into the books I got at the book fair. These are in two categories, the first being 2 books that I got on a damaged like sort of section, where they had books for $1 that were considered damaged, even though the one book I got, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And the other one just had a signature in it from the author, which it was to a certain person, but either way, I think that's probably, something neat rather than being damaged. But anyway, I got 2 books for $2, so that's pretty great. And I will start with one of those, which is Nightlight. And this is actually a Twilight parody. I actually have really soft spot for parodies. I have the Hunger Games one, and they're both by the Harvard Lampoon. And I read this, and it was actually pretty funny, and I think that even if you don't like Twilight, like obviously the Twilight thing has been over for a bit, even if you don't like it, you can still find it funny. So yes. The second book that I got from the damaged book section is called Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. This is a book that I probably wouldn't normally pick up if it weren't for $1. This book is about a few teenagers and their sort of experiences with suicide and suicidal thoughts and depression and things like that. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't normally pick this up because I don't really read contemporary type books, but I'm kind of interested in the subject of characters who have depression. It provides that different viewpoint that I usually look for in a book, which is why I don't really read contemporaries, because it's sort of that everyday viewpoint, like going to high school or going to work or whatever. And this is something that, obviously not everyone experiences. And something else that is neat about the book is that it is written in a poem, which isn't necessarily a thing I find good or bad. I don't generally like poetry, but it can be interesting in a book if it's done well, and I do tend to read it as more of a narrative than as poems, which is probably not how you're supposed to do it, but that's what I prefer, and I can find more of the story in it than more of the abstractness, if that made any sense. Okay, now on to the books that I got for regular price, which is actually the regular price for the bookstore that they were in, which is actually so much cheaper than you would get at a regular price bookstore like Barnes & Noble. And the first of these books is The Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. And if you've seen my previous book haul, I got the Clockwork Angel, and I read that and I really liked it, so I was looking to pick up the rest of the series, and I was really glad that they had this one, but unfortunately they did not have the Clockwork Prince, which is the second book, so obviously I can't read this until I read the Clockwork Prince. So the series is just going to have to wait a little longer to be read. But the next book is one that is actually able to pick up the next two in the trilogy, so I will have the full trilogy and can read it through, which I'm pretty excited about. And those are Scarlet and Crest by Marissa Meyer, and these are the second books in the Lunar Chronicles. I don't know if this is a trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. Yeah, I think so. Sorry if it's not. But they are following Cinder, which is a retelling of Cinderella, and Scarlet is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and Crest is a retelling of Rapunzel, from what I can tell from the covers. I'm not quite sure, I just got them to continue the series, but I'm really excited to read them soon. And the last book that is in this book haul is Every Day by David Levithan. I'm sorry if I pronounced that last name wrong, but I had been wanting to read this book because it's an interesting concept. It's about a person who wakes up every day as someone in a new body, I would say. And it's about this person's struggle to stay with this girl that they had met, they formed a connection with, but obviously it's kind of hard to get that connection if you're constantly bouncing from body to body. So it explores that a little bit. It also explores kind of issues with gender and sexuality, because this person is in different bodies, so they're different genders, and they don't really identify as a gender themselves because, you know, they get both the experience, and imagine if you had that, it'd be kind of hard to pick if you're used to being both. But yeah, it's interesting, and I read it and it's pretty good. I'd recommend it if you like kind of, I don't know how I'd recommend it to. It's kind of one of those ones that you could, even if you aren't really into a certain genre, you could pick it up and give it a try. I think it could be interesting to a bunch of different people. So yeah, that is the end of June book haul part 2, and I already know for sure that there will be a July book haul because I just got more books yesterday. So yeah, hopefully I'll have another video sooner, but if I don't, I'll see you guys for the July book haul. Anyways, bye!